Hello, Warren, Aaron, back again. Another edition of Movie Talk. We are both mentally and physically drained as we're trapped in our sweltering homes in the Bay Area as we're in day 8,976 of the lockdown, and the temperatures, depending on where you are in the Bay Area, are clipsing like 100 degrees. So I'm out where it's supposed to be cool, and it's at 97 now by me. So if you're in the valley, rest in peace.
To my knowledge, it's Tuesday.
I've
lost track of time. Even going back to work.
I'm working 7 days a week, and I'm sure a lot of you people watching and listening are experiencing the same thing. I don't know what the new normal is, but it's definitely pushing us into movie talk, where today we discuss Parasite. A lot of interesting things going on in like the movie world with what's new, but we wanted to talk about Parasite. This is kind of one that was on the to-do list that Aaron finally got around to watching, and it's 99 on the Rotten Tomato meter. Audience gives it a 90. The snooty critics give it a 99. I think this is an amazing film. I also think it's fucking overrated. Like, both things can't exist at the same time.
We need to talk about that.
All right. But if you're not familiar with us, we talk about news, we talk about quotes, we stump Aaron on some quotes that he should know that most pop culture millennials won't. Or monologues. Oh, do you have a monologue?
I barely just Googled monologues.
Oh, man. All right.
Good one. I'll take quotes. I'll still take quotes. I don't know what's happening.
We'll do quotes. We'll maybe play around with monologues. We got to remember to do that for the next one, because I'm totally unprepared for that today. I think that turned out pretty well last episode, but we'll revisit it. We'll let the comment below if you liked it or not. This is a very loose format. We're just two guys talking shit. Oh man, I cursed within 2 minutes. This is totally demonetized.
I'll send that one. We'll be fine.
All right, beep it out. We'll edit it in post. But if you're not familiar with the format, we talk about what's new. We talk about the news. We talk about quotes. We riff on some stuff tangentially, and then get into the discussion of what we thought of the topic of the day. Man, this thing is like, with so many things we could talk about. Is it worthy of an Academy Award? I think it is.
I would agree. I would think it is, yeah.
Which surprises me, because Americans abhor all things subtitle. If you want to win an American award, you better dub that motherfucker in English. Don't you come to America with a subtitle bullshit. You can't force me to read.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle that.
The fat cow makes a lot of noise. I'm going to kill her. Watch this.
God, man. Yeah, so this is... I hope my, bitterness towards the state of the world isn't leaking out into this podcast.
No, I think for both of us, we started slowly complaining about everything around us as it goes up, because again, everything around us is affecting the movie industry, so it's kind of hard to ignore. But it's we like to, at least we can have fun with it,
Well, this kind of great segue, because we're going to talk about what's new and a lot of things with what's new in the movie industry. But kind of thinking back, this wasn't the last film that I saw in the theaters before COVID hit, but this was one of the last films that I remember seeing in the theater. Do you remember what the last film you saw in the theater was? Oh God, what is it? Ninja Turtles. What is it?
No, it literally was the week before it was announced everybody should stay inside, and the theater was dead empty already. Like, no one was there except for me and 5 other friends, old friends, and it was Sonic. It was Sonic, and we were the only ones.
That is so poetic. That is so great.
Yeah, when Sonic finally makes something good that everybody appreciates again, the world ends.
Oh man, world ending is right. They Disney Plus is talking about releasing Mulan straight to streaming devices, right?
What's your feelings about that? Yeah, because I heard it was going to be at least $30 per the rental.
So that's what I'm having an issue with.
Actually, per purchase, you get to. What I heard is you get to keep it. That $30, you get to keep it on Disney Plus after buying it. so not anywhere else.
That will affect how I feel about it, because if I'm paying a subscription fee for this service, and then I gotta pay a movie ticket price on top of it. Like, I don't like that. So I don't know how this is gonna play out. I don't own Disney Plus, so I'm probably gonna miss out on that release. But I will say that, like, these high quality pirates are probably gonna get really good. It's gonna be really hard to keep that thing isolated and siloed to that specific platform. But they're also trying to, like, well, what's the rewatchability of that, right?
Because it's already a remake, so like you're only noticing the differences from the. Well, I mean, in my perspective, I'm only noticing the differences from the original to now, and then I'm never, I don't feel the need to go back. Like with Jungle Book, there's no need to go back again to the live action remake. I'd rather go back to the original.
I meant I purchase it, I buy it, and I watch it one time through, or do I have it for a couple of days on a rental basis? Like, rewatchability like that.
You get to keep it forever, I think.
Really?
After
wow.
the 30, I believe I heard that. Yeah, I'm starting to like the tweets I remember seeing, and this one I believe you get to keep after your initial $30 purchase.
Well, I mean, direct upload to a platform, they're saving a shit ton of money on theater distribution, right? Like, and those fucking rights and that kind of stuff, right? This could live. So I'm like, if I wanted to see Mulan in theaters, I loved it, and I want to go back and see it again, boom, there's another $12 to them, right? Some people, there are people who watch, like, Endgame, like, 4 times, right? You lose out on that because it's straight to digital release, right? Like, and I'm only one ticket, but I can watch that thing as many times as I want, scrub back and catch my favorite moments for that one purchase.
Yeah, whenever you want. But how often? Like, let's just compare this to, I guess, The Lion King. But I feel like Mulan, the remake, is doing more than The Lion King, the remake. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to emphasize more on the movie as opposed to, like, the business practice, because, like, yeah, that is, like, you wouldn't do it for Mulan, but, like, then there's a conversation about, like, them probably doing it for the Black Widow release as well, and then other more popular Marvel releases probably going straight to digital distribution. Netflix has built an entire empire around the straight to Netflix. It used to be like a straight to DVD used to be a knock, right? But, like, straight to Netflix is a badge of honor. Netflix is producing my, like, indie smokehouse film. Like, oh, sweet. Like,
I literally saw an article that said Adam Sandler, because he had a specific 4-movie deal with Netflix, basically banked him like $6 million at least.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. I want to say 60 million. That could still be lower than what I'm saying, but at least, you know what I mean? Like, I know he banked well off of his Netflix deal.
Uncut Gems is on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go fucking watch it right now. After this podcast.
We should do an episode on that one as well. I forgot. I saw that.
Oh, you saw that?
That was the third one. We talked about that, actually.
We're talking about that movie. Not now, but we're talking about that movie.
Yeah.
This straight to DVD, the straight to digital platform release means also that, one, piracy is going to be a problem, but again, someone like me, if I want to watch Black Widow, do I have to sign up for a 6-month trial, 3-month trial with Disney Plus just to watch one fucking movie?
The only reason I have my subscription right now is because I have Verizon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. But The Mandalorian was worth it. I still feel like the visual effects are worth it. I can't believe you think it's not good, or not good, or it will be not good in the future.
I don't think it's gonna age well.
I think there's way other things that are gonna age worse than Mandalorian before Mandalorian ages worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Hellboy, the remake, it already aged garbagely.
We got to talk about that, because you know what? I am a fan of Ron Perlman, but I'm also a fan of the guy who plays the cop in Stranger Things is the new Hellboy. I like both of them, but, like, I'm a huge proponent of the actor still exists. Don't replace that actor. Blade is one of those things. And then I saw some tweets that Jamie Foxx might be rebooting as Al Simmons, the main character in Spawn. You know, the central figure, Spawn himself.
Oh my God.
Michael
Are we
Jai
switching news
White
topic?
played that originally.
Are we switching news topics already? Because
Not
I
yet.
have a lot. Okay.
Okay,
But
so
I
yeah,
have a
we'll
lot to say about that.
bookmark that because I also want to say that like movie theaters are trying to pivot.
Aren't they opening on like the 20th?
On the 3rd, I think AMC, because AMC is celebrating like 100 years or something, and they're offering sales for 15 cents. I swear I saw that on a thing.
No.
And they're incentivizing people with like Black Panther and other things, and I'm like, don't create a cesspool crowd of people, man. Like, like, I get it, and a centennial is an amazing thing to celebrate, but don't do this right now.
That theater room is a petri dish.
No shit.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to go to a movie theater right now. That's in
No shit.
Mm-mm.
Another nod to, again, I'm gonna keep pushing this VR movies, man. It's extremely hard to, actually it's not extremely hard. You can defeat HDCP or whatever that blockage is for splicing off video, but they've got it pretty well dialed down to where like even down to the browser that I can't do a watch along experience on Netflix in my browser. I have to use Firefox. I can't use Chrome. Right?
Oh.
Like you can
Wait.
there are ways to detect like people trying to pirate this.
Oh, okay. You're not saying through VR though, right?
No, in VR. VR is a lot easier to ensure non-piracy than just like your laptop.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. So it's just kind of like another
I'm
drop in
surprised
the
by
bucket towards VR.
I'm surprised by that. I mean, in my perspective, I don't have a lot of experience with VR, so I feel like VR would have, because it's so new. You know, like when the internet was first new, it just had
Kind of
so
the
many
Wild
old.
West. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Just like even when YouTube was like first here, Wild West is as hell.
I think I think the difference in VR is that a lot of the moneyed interests are powering it. It is not a hobbyist. It is a hobbyist sort of thing, but it's back. Like there are no like open source headsets, right? There's no Yahoo chats for VR. This is like AOL isn't mailing out free VR discs just to get you on board. You know, like you.
I'm always confused by what those were.
The barrier for entry, technically, and also fucking monetarily, is pretty high. So they've had the internet preceding them to be aware of these things. They go into building these products now knowing that people are going to use this to steal and do shitty things. So they plan ahead for that. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah. That's the industry that would prepare for it, I guess. I didn't think about that.
Alamo Drafthouse in SF is doing like parties things. You can like I think it's 30 people, and then you pick from a catalog of 40 films for $150. You kind of have a private party. I think that's better than AMC basically giving away 15-cent tickets.
Well, especially at this time, because there's no way that that's like a profit no matter how many people go, considering the months they just have been absent from making any sales at all. That's so weird.
It's not. It doesn't make it worthwhile profitably to do that, and then you just endangering people to celebrate something, and it seems weird to me, and I get it.
It's just nothing, because I remember hearing it was classics. It was like, I mean, Back to the Future's great, but it's also on any streaming service.
No shit.
Or fine, you could probably find it or pay for it like
Yeah.
a couple bucks rather than your life,
It's,
or anyone older, a loved one's life. I don't know, you know.
God, I'm so defeated. Jeez. All right, let's uplift. You were gonna talk about something else to put a pin in. Al Simmons. What were we talking about?
You know what? I follow Eric Andre on Twitter. He's been photoshopping his face on top of Ellen DeGeneres all week. Quick side news: I've been loving him doing that.
Man,
he does good work.
We use our Twitters for completely different purposes. I use mine to basically throw shade at the president any chance I get.
I'm afraid to, but I want to.
I'm on a list. somewhere.
I respect that shit. Well, I mean, like, does it matter? I feel like everyone is on a list. Fortnite's on a list right now, if you haven't heard.
Dude, oh my god, yeah, I don't even want to spec. That whole situation is so. Fortnite's just been preparing to go to war with all their money. I don't know what they're thinking.
I think it's a publicity stunt.
100%. Their game is fucking dying, man. Like, how much more interested can you be in that fucking game? Like, the thing on Twitter is that they've basically got kids going to bat for them. Like,
oh, yeah.
You exist in this store, you break the terms of service by trying to generate revenue as like a side hustle outside of the store. Then you get mad when they boot you from the store for breaking the terms of service something you agreed to. Like the ecosystems and the stores, like they definitely need some TLC. But I mean, this is just going to be interesting to watch play out.
It seemed like an odd situation because it was one very successful company playing it very shady when dealing with Apple, a bigger company.
They were prepared for this. I feel like they went in to pick this fight specifically at this moment.
Yeah, because after the launch of season 2, I was following a few news sources that were just like talking about their ratings. No, I don't play it. I only follow like a channel called that I love.
No promoting other channels here. Come on.
Oh, okay. I'll bleep it out. But anyway, that talked about the situation, and basically, yeah, around season 2, their views or their not their views, their user base essentially for Fortnite had dropped even after their biggest event in season 2, which was a kaiju battle. It was like it was a giant. They actually had people fighting and running in the map. During that, they had a giant robot and a giant, going on in the background. And it sucks because Fortnite it seems like they have a lot of fun ideas with how to interact with their players, but then they just go insane and keep doing stuff like this to get everybody's attention, to get even more users and, to get their popularity back. But I think their peak is past.
I agree. They've peaked at the, sort of the CGI Travis Scott performance, like kind of cool. The Fortnite World Cup, $1 million to Booga, I believe. Cool stuff to do, but like the gaming is such a fickle industry to be in. If you've got a genre, for instance, Fortnite. First it was Clash of Clans. Now no one fucking plays Clash of Clans anymore. Now it's Fortnite. And now it's sort of this sort of battle arena survival, whether it's Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends, that's going to fizzle out. Now you can already see it fizzling out. There's this animated game with like 100 people that race up a map. It's like a race with like an obstacle course. These little bubbly looking guys. I don't remember what the name of the game is. It looks fun. It reminds me of Little Big Planet, which I love, but gaming, people move around so much that like I do not want to be involved. If I had a career in the gaming industry, I would have such high anxiety because it's peaks and valleys and it's extremely quick. You're on top and then you're done.
Honestly, yeah. Even with even the heavy hitters, like I'm hearing so much backlash from Last of Us 2. Just for its story alone, I mean, those
narrative games have those you come back for that story, you keep playing it, but like the multiplayer stuff, the competitive stuff, Counter-Strike and League of Legends and Dota and StarCraft is kind of dying. StarCraft is dead.
Really? Oh, okay.
Like people, it's not as popular as it used to be, but for the fact that like League of Legends and Counter-Strike have existed for as long as they have, they're at the top of that pile. There's I don't understand any other. My computer is low on storage. Oh no! I hope this doesn't break. Are we still live? Yeah, we're still live. Okay. We're gonna keep that.
Worst case scenario, there'll be a cut. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll just shift it. I don't know where you would want to plan a future, right? Like, look at what happened with Zynga, right? The mobile gaming empire that.
Oh my god! Wait, was that Word Friends?
Yeah, it was a bunch. Farmville, Words with Friends, whatever. And then
Yeah.
I was working in Soma when they like culled the herd and like got rid of like 60% of their workforce.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
brutal.
Yeah.
But
So-
who looks at those games and says that like I can look at Fortnite and be like, this isn't gonna last.
Well, after actually, even like, don't you know, like the work schedule for everybody in game development? You know, there's tons of articles
Oh,
being
dude.
they're overworked in the industry, and Fortnite's whole team basically is, it's an abnormal amount of update patches. I'll say.
They're
To
zombies. For sure. Working in that industry makes people zombies. I'm speaking more just the attention span of the users, right? Like there's some slot machine sort of tapping the vein going on, and once that's tapped out, people are gonna be looking for the next fix.
loot boxes.
Loot boxes.
Have you heard? There's so many legal disputes about that alone.
We got to do an episode on loot boxes. I absolutely adhere to the idea that loot boxes encourage gambling. It absolutely does. I'm guilty of it myself.
The worst it got for me was Clash of Clans. But since then, on my phone, I have not purchased gems, loot boxes,
Dude.
anything. Everything free came to me. I kind of learned from Clash of Clans. But
I work with a guy who's like ranked in Clash of Clans, and he put down thousands of dollars. Absolute insanity.
that's the only way to win that game, though. Like, be at the top tier charts. You know what I mean? I was nowhere near the top tier charts, but that's how I knew they were at the top tier charts, because they were investing so much money to speed up their farming processes on Clash of Clans.
Was it worth that much? Was it that fun? I watched people play it, and it just looked it looked like Jerry popping bubbles on his iPad. That's what it looks like to me.
Damn it. Okay, well, I was in high school, so I'm not gonna say it wasn't along that same intellectual level, but it wasn't along the popping bubbles level, but maybe like a hair above popping bubbles, only because you had different types of bubbles.
I hope you can pull these archives out or find a screenshot, because when Fortnite came out, this is how not Fortnite, when Clash of Clans tried to venture into the eSports streaming space, their streams were like the cringiest things I'd ever seen. You got two people standing against each other, like hitting, just basically on the iPad, like
Just tapping
tapping this thing against each other, and then you've got these shoutcasters trying to make this exciting, and then like one shoutcaster is like somebody that they hired from like the gaming talent agency, and this other shoutcaster is like 60. Like, and he's wearing
Going on.
he's wearing like a tech hoodie, and he's speaking very fast, like very knowledgeably to this thing. But I'm like, they don't know what they're trying to do here. What am I looking at?
Yeah, like what's the action in this? Because even in Clash of Clans, when you played it, you never watched someone attack your base. At least me personally, that would happen off screen, and you get the notification, oh, someone raided your base, and you'd be like, dang it.
Yeah, I don't know.
The whole, eSports stream of that thing, that's hilarious. I can't look at that.
I am super. Anyone who wants to stream anything, I am willing to work with you. Like, let's fucking get you live. But at the same time, I'm gonna be sitting there in the back of my mind, like judging your content against other shit I've seen, and like some things, and like those mobile esports streams are like really weird, really weird.
I have only seen the Overwatch leaks, like that. I've only seen them at their peak, the highlights. You know what I mean?
Hearthstone.
Or maybe at cons. Hearthstone. Oh no, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Play Hearthstone competitively, and they're sitting across from each other. I'm like, this is just give them cards at this point. Just give them the deck.
Yeah, they should have cards. I feel like you'd have, just like a poker tournament.
Yeah.
You would have set up to make it look good.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's. As much as I shit on this, and it's all in love because like they're doing extremely well, but as much as I shit on it, esports athletes are untouched and unfazed by COVID. Baseball is fucked. NHL is probably fucked. Basketball hasn't had an outbreak yet, NFL is pretty much screwed.
Have they not had an outbreak? I just feel like they're door dashing their food, and every time they say they door dash, it's breaking.
So they're kind of doing like the UFC thing where they're keeping people isolated and on an island. But similar, there's a story about an NFL, a Seattle Seahawks rookie, who got caught trying to sneak in a groupie, a confidant, into his room in the hotel that they were camping at, and he got caught, and they let him go. This was a rookie that they drafted, and I'm totally understandable.
Yeah.
But like I looked at her as like a nuke. He could have set off a nuclear bomb inside that hotel. He could have been the catalyst for coronavirus to that entire team.
You're a walking ground zero.
Yeah. Like, bro, you're making millions of dollars. It's gonna be time for women later. Like, you're here to do a job. But the NBA, like, they're middle of the season. I guarantee you that's happening somewhere there. Come on. It's only a matter of time.
Can you imagine how devastating that is? That is your reason for being booted. Like, fully on him too. That's unfortunate for his future.
As a rookie, he's got to be like, he's probably on suicide watch, man. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. You become the pro to take advantage of like the money and the fast lifestyle and all that stuff, right? Like the bling and the flash.
You might have been too eager to jump on that lifestyle.
Counted that chicken before it was hatched. All right, we are so far removed from anything movie related. Let's bring it back in. What's your favorite sports movie? Go.
I love Moneyball. There you go.
I haven't seen it.
I highly recommend it. See, I'm not good at sports, and I'm not good at understanding fully the sports. The only ones I know before it was Miracle, which got shown to me a lot, and I love Kurt Russell, but I also
Miracle's great. Oh yeah.
It is great, but I also I don't know. I guess I was shown it so many times. I'm like, what's something else? What's something else? And Moneyball gave me like the perspective of baseball I never understood or perceived or even thought of.
I think I would enjoy Moneyball only because it relates to the same sort of sports movie that I like, which is Any Given Sunday. It's a football movie with Jamie Foxx, Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown, Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz. It has a James Woods. It has a whole bunch of fucking people. LL Cool J. No, Any Given Sunday. It's a football movie, and it shows a lot of the front office coaching and player disputes. It's about a lot of politics that happens inside a football team, a locker room, and an organization that, like, I don't know, man, really spoke to me. It's it's a fun one. If you haven't seen it, I strongly encourage you to watch Any Given Sunday. It's fucking amazing. Directed by Oliver Stone, of all people. What a weird concoction of fucking people to have on a set.
I'm probably familiar with his work, but unfamiliar with the name. What's something else Oliver Stone?
Platoon? Did he do Platoon? Oliver Stone? He does these like political stuff. You know his voice.
Yeah. He's super fucking political.
Yeah.
I know his voice already.
Which is why, he probably concentrated on the coaching aspect. He did Natural Born Killers, Platoon. He did JFK. He did Born on the 4th of July. He did, he's political. So when they gave him a NFL movie, of course he was going to take it there. Wall Street, Any Given Sunday in 1999.
Natural Born Killers is on Netflix. That's in my queue. I'm going to watch that now.
Man, that movie screwed me up a little bit. It was the first time I had seen a movie like that ever. It was like it was early 90s and pretty young. So that wasn't like how movies were made in my mind. I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
I can't wait because Platoon was an excellent movie, but its themes and how they were portrayed, oh my god, I needed a break after the movie. I couldn't talk. I was just like, give me a second.
Platoon was kind of rough. Platoon was a rough one. Another movie to studied in like class, but like it was. I don't remember the. I just remember feeling very. No one's making it out of here alive. And that movie, if that was the point, it captured it perfectly.
Yeah, it gives you that vibe early on, and it also gives you the vibe that maybe it's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
What
I
do
don't know. Oliver, I'm bad with the names again.
Oliver Stone.
He's good at balancing that, like the glimmer of hope surrounded by all this darkness, because there's still a little hope at the end of the movie. But we'll get into Oliver.
Yeah, we should definitely do an Oliver piece. What an interesting fucking character. Oliver, if you're watching, we'd love to have you on. You're welcome in the chair anytime. We also got to get some of these chaos agents in here too at some point.
Yeah, I feel like we should.
I say Amy's the first one.
What's a movie we would ask Amy to review first?
I think we just get in here and start talking about anything, and just like let her go.
I agree. I'm dying first. This is a good movie, or this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she would. Yeah, and just let it. We'll name the episode of the movie after we talked about it. After we talked about the podcast. What are you watching right now?
Okay, so as I'm editing, a bunch of shows mainly in the background. Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of them. Why is that bad?
No, because we talked about this last episode, or actually like episode M Night. Like,
yeah,
if it's on in the background, you're not fucking watching it.
That I remember. I'm gonna preface.
What movies are you listening to?
It's in the background. Okay. That's why I've thrown it to shows now. I knew I would get that answer. So it's mainly shows I've seen right now, except for actually, but Parasite and Knives Out. I promise you. Movie reviewers' honor, code of honor.
Okay.
Those two I saw full attention, and I loved them both.
Knives Out is great.
Yeah, I think I like Parasite more, but we'll get into that. We'll get into Parasite.
Daniel Craig is an underrated actor. I hate that he's like known for Bond and all that shit, but I think he's hysterical too.
He did great in his delivery, but I just thought every now and again, like every other scene, for some reason his country accent in Knives Out just got me. It just like threw me off. I don't know. It was too Western. It was just like, I don't know. This is a legit cowboy. How are you here right now?
Oh yeah. I've heard that criticism before, especially of that movie. And what was that one with him and Howard Harrison? I guess Cowboys and Aliens.
I haven't seen that. I actually want.
It didn't break my. I wasn't looking at this. I didn't watch Knives Out and go, you should stop now. It didn't bother me.
Did you see Cowboys and Aliens though?
Mm-hmm.
In him in that? Oh, okay.
No, come on, I don't waste my time.
It didn't ruin the movie for me at all. But it was one of my takeaways. I'll say that about Daniel Craig. The movie was still. It was what?
I said it was a departure from like just that like accent. I'm sorry, I cut you off, man.
No, you're good. I think Knives Out with Rian Johnson, a mini review from us right now. I think Knives Out with Rian Johnson was a better portrayal of his talent than The Last Jedi or whatever, because it showed you how he wants to subvert expectations. I'm going to do a murder mystery, but I'm going to do it this way. And I think the twist in Knives Out is clearly what makes that movie.
Yeah.
And subversion of what you're expecting really does change it.
Making a modern day Clue and then still having the audience like, what? Like, it's that is kind of like do the same thing but keep it fresh to people. Like that's kind of like the mark of a good actor in my mind. I think he did that well.
It is subtle. It is, well, I don't want to say subtly, but I feel like most people don't recognize it that much in film or appreciate it. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like it's brilliant in a subtle to obvious way, depending on how you look at film. How in depth you look at film.
Most people go to let the light of the monitor wash over them. They don't. Oh, I liked it. Oh yeah, it was cool. I thought he was the killer the whole time. Like that's what people want. No one gives a shit to this level.
That's why before every movie in a movie theater, when you could go to one, or should go to one, it would give you the ad, no texting, and it would show like everybody on their phone as it would pan out. Yeah.
People don't care to dissect. They like, yeah, man.
I wish, because film has a lot to say. You know, the best films I love are the ones that actually have like a message or an emotion to express to the audience. And some people don't like those types of movies. You know, I feel like Parasite is one of those movies where, well, to an extent, where it kind of expressed. Parasite expressed a message, which is why it kind of went out to everybody.
I'm interested to hear what you thought the message is. Before we jump into that, we're going to get back to message. I don't know if I covered this, but I'm watching I Am Mother, Hilary Swank on Netflix, ISO chamber, sort of raised by an AI sort of environment. Really good. Watch it if you can. And I've also been watching a lot of UFO documentaries. In the background, all right, I am a UFO aficionado, so I'm waiting to hear new information that I haven't been exposed to, and then it gets my attention and I pay attention.
So could you watch Ancient Aliens and debunk all the BS in that and tell me what's real, or at least
absolutely
probable?
Absolutely. I've met him. I got a picture with him, and I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna put it in the edit right now. Okay. I actually had breakfast with that dude. He's not a kook. George Saclantis, the aliens meme guy. And I asked him a straight up question. I was like, hey man, so he runs this Skeptics magazine or whatever. And I'm just like, hey, so you and Eric Von Daniken and the guy who talks like this, I don't know what his name is, but like, you've got a lot of interesting theories. And you could lend yourself a lot to legitimizing these ideas, but fucking look at yourself. You look like a meme. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you undoing all of the traction that you did? And he basically was like, hey man, like, look, my 15 minutes of fame won't last long, and this is how people get to remember me. And he was straight up about it. He was like, this is my gimmick. Like, you know what? If people can't see past it to take in the ideas, I can't do anything about that. And I respected the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's a level of intelligence and foresight into his industry, into where he fits in this is the social, pop culture or whatever is a brilliant. That's a weird insight.
And you can watch it at play by watching season 1 to like season 7. He like looks like a normal person in a suit, and then like his hair starts getting bigger and bigger, and his tan starts getting more and more pronounced. And I'm like, oh yeah, he played into that way. He just leaned in hard.
That's the thing. The air of insanity doesn't always mean insanity. This dude played up his role so well, no one even bothered to discern whether it was real or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people just kind of took him. You're talking about UFOs. You look like that. You're a kook, and that's unfortunate. That's where it lies. And the world's been so crazy that our government's admitting that they don't have responses for some of the things they see in the sky. And it's just like another Tuesday. It's like no big deal.
Yeah, wasn't there a UFO last month or something?
I'm very hesitant to call things UFO. Like, the implication of UFO is alien, but it's literally an unidentified flying object. We don't know what that is. I say we investigate.
That's how I know we have the right movie podcast with the right people, because I couldn't agree more.
Dude, I don't want to fall off the deep end. Did public administration, kind of like hobbyistly started studying like exopolitics. If we did encounter an advanced civilization, are we dealing with different nation states, or are we dealing with like a hive mind? What does their culture look like? Is it like some Star Trek thing where we enter into like this sovereign territory? Like, we've always existed on this isle of Papua New Guinea. We just didn't have any contact with the locals, they're like, oh shit, the fucking Earthlings have made it to the rest of civilization. Like, oh god damn it.
We're done. It's over.
I always envision that there is some like military alien outpost around the moon, and their job is to just like, this is the shit detail, like watching our corner of the solar system. Like, oh god, I gotta patrol Earth. Like, I watch these morons. Like, look at this guy. Hey, Bob. This guy is pumping nuclear waste into their drinking supply. And then Bob's like, yeah, take a look at this guy. They just strapped essentially this dude to a combustible engine, and they're trying to brute force their way into space. And it's like, no. Look at this guy. They're like fighting over imaginary friends. Like this, they're literally fighting over whose imaginary friend is better. And they're just like sitting there eating popcorn, and they're just like, "This is fucking. These people are crazy." You know?
And these companies are making millions off of imaginary friends.
There's a I love the meme where the aliens land. It's like Jesus crucified. The aliens land and they like stumble upon his like corpse on the cross, and they're like, "Dude, I know what we need to do. We need to get the fuck out of here." the one alien just looks at the guy, is like, "We need to fucking leave now." Fair. Alien talk with Aaron and Warren.
Yeah, we're switching it up,
dude. Woo, woo. Let's pivot to some quotes here.
All right.
I start first. Okay, here's a good one for you. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. This might be a little.
Give me the year.
Oh, it's probably 70s, 80s. It's a horror film. They're all gonna laugh at you.
I feel like it. Is it? Is it like the one with? Nah.
Carrie, the girl with the telekinetic powers, a super religious mom. She gets.
I know that one. Pig's blood on
pig's
her head,
blood,
right?
Yeah, they like, "Hey, you won prom queen," and then they like pranked her with pig's blood, and she
the most fucked up moment,
killed
honestly.
everybody.
Yeah, I don't like the remake of that film.
No. Oh, the remake was kind of funny. Not, I think they remade it like 3 times, but they made it in the early 2000s, and I thought that one was pretty funny.
I'm talking about I think we're talking about the same one, because this one had the actress from Kick-Ass. She was Hit Girl.
Maybe. I don't remember.
What? All right. Well, it wasn't that good. It didn't get good reviews. I feel like we're talking about the same one.
I remember from that movie when the girl commits suicide off of high school roof, and she lands on the car, and the guy's got his like cell phone out. He's recording her. He's like, "Dude, whose car is this?" Like, she totally just. I was like, "Yeah, no, that seems about right." he nailed that. There are no small roles. He totally crushed that. All right, what do you got?
All right, I haven't seen this movie, but I just googled the quotes, so let's do it. Carpe diem, seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
Dead Poet Society, Carpe Diem. Yeah.
Was that the first movie where they brought up Carpe Diem?
It's the most famous. Robin Williams. It's kind of like a theme that they repeat, but he made it famous. I mean, it's Latin. It's existed thousands of years before him, but you probably a good quote from that would be like, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," right? They stand on the desks and they fucking do the whatever.
I gotta see that, but that's hilarious.
It's slow.
I've seen I'm fine with slow, but I've seen parodies of "Oh, Captain, my Captain." I was so confused. Oh my god, I'm connecting so many lines right now.
That's why I watch a lot of movies I don't want to watch, because I know it's going to be a pop culture thing, and I want to get the references and the jokes people made. I've literally stomached movies just because of that. Like, okay.
I feel it.
Here's an easy one for you. Multipass.
Now I'm just nervous. The fifth element.
Okay. Multipass. Okay. Go.
Yeah.
Your turn.
That was it. Okay. My mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Is that Radio? No, it's Forrest Gump.
Yeah. So it says on the website, Radio.
Dude.
Nailed it.
Movie news. Cuba Gooding's in a lot of trouble. And
really?
His defense. I saw like a tweet about like what defense his lawyer is taking, and I'm just like, dude, just plead guilty and save yourself the embarrassment. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway.
I'll put up the article just briefly. We can eat it.
All right, what we got here? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Rush Hour.
Hey, all right. These are. I don't know if he's starting to get my pulse or if these are just super easy. But next episode we're gonna fucking dial it up a little bit.
I don't know what's super easy and what's super not anymore. Cause you know what I mean?
Like, that's fair.
We quotes, we bounce back. I'm like, wait, like this one's iconic for sure. But then I'm like, I gave him "Hold on to your butts," and I thought that was iconic. I grew up with knowing that was the major line from Jurassic Park. But then I'm like, maybe my brother just really liked that line, hold on to your butts.
It's what you stick onto, because I think we talked about it where I gave you a line from Jurassic Park 2 from Newman, and see, nobody cares. It's like what scenes you gravitate to and start quoting. Tiano's talking about like quoting random things in Lord of the Rings, where if you like told me, you shall not pass, that's probably the only thing I'd be able to call back.
That one and the meme where Orlando Bloom actually did, they're bringing the hobbits to Isengard, and then he pulled the iPad down and he was on set of the Hobbit doing the meme. In costume, it was great.
I know movie quotes from the memes. What about Second Breakfast? What about Fifth Breakfast? That, like, I would know that. Yeah, memorizing movie quotes through memes is definitely the way to go. Makes life easier. Let's do a few more of these, and then we get into Parasite, because we're at like 45 minutes right now.
Lose track of time. That's the thing too. Time flies when we're doing this.
It does. I hope it flies for the people listening too. Actually, we don't give a shit about them. We would do this without you.
But you're probably fine.
But you're probably enjoying yourself, and we're glad to have you along. Here's another one. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Donnie Darko?
No. Oh, you want to take some time to think about that one? All right, here's a better one. You want a toe? I'll get you a toe, man.
I think that would help.
No one fucks with the Jesus.
Is this a different quote? Are all of these different quotes?
Different quotes from the same movie, yeah.
Oh.
This is funny because I think you could play Jesus really well. Big Lebowski.
Oh, are you serious? I forgot that line.
Wow. Okay, that's give me one more. Hit me up. Hit me.
Okay. Damn it. Talking to me? You talking to me?
Taxi driver.
Yeah.
Too quick. Dags? Dags? You like Dags?
Oh, damn it. You've referenced this before.
Dags! Dogs? You like dogs? I like dogs. I like caravans more.
Boondock Saints?
Oh.
It sounded like the Italian dude in that one. Like
Dags.
the third dude.
Dags. Yeah, Dags. You like Dags?
I'm going to have to tap out.
That Amy would go crazy. Snatch.
Oh.
Have you seen Snatch?
I don't think I've seen that.
You need to watch it. British people don't do a lot well, but one thing they do well are gangster movies and heist movies. You guys corner the market on that shit. Dude, I'm saying it's great.
Well, I mean, from Layer Cake alone, yeah, they did a real damn good job with that one.
Rock and Rolla, fucking mint.
Check that.
Train Spotting. Was it
Train
Lock,
Spotting.
Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Like, you fucking
Nope.
Italian Job. Old School. Not
Half
the
of it.
fucking what's his name remake. Ed
Not the
Norton.
Will Ferrell one.
Is that Ed Norton or no? Not Will Ferrell.
I don't
Charlize
know
Theron was in the new. Someone I'm spacing. That's how shit it was. Sorry. Anyway. You thought Parasite. Now we get into the Rotten Tomatoes 99% pick. I think it became distasteful to criticize this movie. I don't really have any criticism for it. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was great, but I didn't think that, like, I didn't walk away with some major epiphany. I thought it was really well done, though.
Yeah, I can see why it doesn't, like, feel like there's a message overall. I guess the theme, I guess it's more of a theme than an overall arcing message. But I took it as a message because I take a lot from like 5 seconds of even from a quick line, I take a lot. It, like you said, it's whatever that hits you and strikes a chord. But with Parasite, I just thought the message was it doesn't matter your class. Everybody seemed to be leeching off of someone else in that movie. It doesn't matter who or where they were. They were all trying to leech off of someone. And they all successfully were,
Yeah. you took the title of the film pretty literally when you applied it to the context of the film.
Well, because like, what other reason would there be to name that movie Parasite, other than the fact that this lower caste family that had no choice but to leech off of whatever was around
Yeah.
in order to survive, and then they finally encounter this pool of wealth that they can comfortably leech off of.
Yeah.
And then you discover that this rich family isn't an evil rich family that I feel like an American audience is going to do.
Gonna interpret it that way, yeah.
Yeah, HBO already has like the lineup to do 6 episodes, a miniseries for Parasite, and I feel like the best part about Parasite is that, or well, one of the best parts is that the rich people don't feel like they're villains. They feel human. They feel natural and weighted down in reality. Like the wife really wants whatever she's I can't at this moment I'm trying to remember, but she always begs the husband for something she's trying to get at that moment, and the same with the kids. And then the greatest twist of all, I won't say right now for spoilers' sake, but with with one of the help for the rich family, one of the maids or housekeepers, it was even they succumbed to the title of the movie.
So so the Parasite meaning is what I applied to the true nature of what was going on in that house, specifically that house, and why that maid wouldn't give up her original grip on that house so willingly. But it makes it, in the context you're putting it in, it makes sense. Also, like I'm not like a Korean film expert or anything like that. It is a Korean film, right?
Yes, it is. I believe so. I am terrible at American geography.
So. Yeah, no shit. Me too.
Don't double. Thank God.
I just don't want to be, if I got it wrong, I apologize. But I was expecting, because their films have like crazy twists. I didn't know what to expect, and the trailers didn't give anything away. And when I went to see the movie and people asked me what it was about, I was like, anything I tell you would give it away. I can't put in. I liked the fact that I couldn't tell you what happened when I tried to explain it to people. That was my favorite part of the film, is just being like, what was it about? It's like, what can I say that wouldn't spoil it for you? You know?
Yeah, totally. And I love that. I love that feature. It feels like it's been a while since it's been, like that type of description, that pause.
Fair. Gotta do the inevitable, because the director and the cast brought it up when they were accepting their award. Captions, subtitles. We in the U.S., it's not a fan favorite to have subtitles on films, but I'm glad. I personally enjoy it, because I think that you can't capture the emotion with a dubbed over voice. Maybe it's my conditioning to original anime, but every time I see or hear an American dub, it just turns my stomach.
No, I agree with you. I literally remember, like, there was this old interview with Conan O'Brien and some actor who would transition to American film, but who used to work in like the original Godzilla, and when they dubbed it in English, they had like him say they had him say banana oil, because that fit the motion of his lips rather than what he actually said in his own language. And clearly it takes a lot from the film when it's not when it's not heard or read the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally agree.
Subtitles are very distracting, but I don't think it takes away that much. Actually, I'd put an argument that like you're seeing the film in flashes, and in a lot of ways you're reading a book with handrails.
I think that's a good way. Yeah, like closer to a graphic novel.
Yeah, I mean, your imagination is tying the pieces together.
Yeah, I like. I've never been bothered by subtitles. Sometimes when I'm tired after work, though, it will be like a deterrent. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna put this on tomorrow morning.
For sure. That's
ready.
That is the laziness I'm talking about. We just gotta own it. That's who we are. That is who we are.
perfectly fine.
Who was your
But
favorite? Yeah.
oh no, yeah, it's no excuse to ignore good art. Parasite's amazing. What were you gonna say?
Who's your favorite character in the film? There are a lot of
Damn,
characters in there.
I feel like a basic bitch. I'm gonna say the main dude because I loved the youngest brother. The fact that he was the linchpin for his entire family. The reason he snuck into this rich family's home. He was the reason he got the rest of his family members to leech off of the rich family. I just really like to see how he played the scenarios. Whenever he was in a scene, I would love seeing how he was subtly manipulating people. You know, it was really fascinating.
That's interesting because I feel like his sister and his dad were way more overt in their manipulation, and I really liked his sister for that, especially with controlling the young child in the house and just being this posh, snooty art fuck. I thought that was like an amazing thing to do.
I totally, yeah. As the main, I forget all the names, but as the youngest brother was their step into the rich house. I totally remember the sister and the father being like the main con artists.
Not knowing where the film was going to go while I was watching it and having the film be called Parasite and then having the trailer be super dark and grim, I was like, in the beginning part of the film, when they're fumigating the house and they decide to leave their windows open for free fumigation, I was like, oh, zombie film. Okay, got it. That's what this is. Okay, something weird's gonna happen here. And it wasn't until they started working people into the house that I kind of got the crux of what was, the core function of the film. Yeah. It's like, yo, you need to do this, by the way. And I mean, even his friend sort of hooked him up. It's like, yo, you don't need to have a certificate to do this, to be her teacher. Just don't fall in love with her. Clearly, he failed at that. But everyone was, hustling in that film. Everybody was hustling.
I think the moment I picked up on it was when earlier on when the son steps in to talk to the it was like some paper delivery person that came up to them, or it was oh wait, no, they were folding boxes, remember, at the beginning of the movie? Yeah. Okay, so when he first like weaseled his way into that job, it was so funny to me when the mom subtly snuck into frame as he was hacking the deal with the
yeah.
Like, if you ever need more boxes folded, and the mom stepped in.
That was such a weird. So much about that movie was. This is probably the wrong film to talk about on this podcast because I'm like thinking I've got flashes of ideas in my head that I can't articulate, which is probably a sign of a good movie.
A movie you got to digest.
But I can't really regurgitate what I'm trying to put into words with, the running through the rain after sort of things transpire. The ending. What did you think about the ending?
All right. Spoilers. Okay. The ending. That's your warning. The ending, shit. Okay, can you re-preface the ending just real quick?
So the bloodbath at the birthday party. And I wasn't expecting it to have such a grim ending, not in terms of like the carnage, but also like the somberness. I was sad to lose people.
Yeah.
And then I felt like a loss for my favorite character, but also for like the dad.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember, because the weight of that ending. Yeah, that's a huge spoiler.
I felt the weight of the ending for the main character. Like, all right, he knows what his mission is now. He's got a purpose. I wonder if he'll fulfill it.
That's it. He's always the planner. That's why. His siblings and father parents and sibling are always the con artists, the better form of that. I think from the ending, how they showed it, it's supposed to give you the idea that this plan will come to fruition, but he also planned this
Yeah,
whole movie before it happened and all this shit went
and
awry.
exploded.
It's a hope at best, and it's I love that it leaves you with that open wanting to be like, please save him, but we don't know at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that I was really happy for it to be a happy ending for the bad guys. But then
That's
when that, yeah, they got me with that one because then when it's like, oh man, he's just dreaming about doing his plan. It's like because it's probably never gonna happen. And then I went from like hopeful to depressed really quickly. It's like, this is a pipe dream. Like someone's like, you look at the kid and you're like, you're doomed. Your dad is so fucked.
Yeah. Like, how are you going to get him out in that time frame? You already barely escaped and didn't, still had casualties at that.
Do you know how much money that house is worth? And this guy is basically near poverty.
Wait, think, do you actually know?
No, I mean, look at the house in that part of like that's an amazing fucking place. And the guy's got his own driver. Like, this is a rich and he's got a maid and his wife stayed home. Like, this is not a cheap part of the neighborhood, and he's going to somehow buy it just to free his dad. Like, this guy is shooting for the moon.
Yeah, and within a couple of years too, like based on it, like in his fantasy, it looked like he was 2 years older, or at max, if he's going to college, 4. But still, 4 years he has to survive by scrounging from the fridge.
The fact that he thinks he can get away with doing that in a timeline that his dad still survives is absolute insanity. I hope for him. The feeling that I had with that ending was like, good luck, man. Like somebody charging the beach of Normandy, you're like, hey, Godspeed, dude.
And it even ends on the father still leeching off of some family.
Yeah.
Like before, as it ends. I hope HBO doesn't take a more simplistic route with it. I feel like it feels better when it's the only way you can add to it is if maybe you're stretching out the time the father is experiencing in imprisonment. But again,
what angle are they taking?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, you don't know?
Me personally, I don't know. I just know that HBO, there was a bidding war essentially after Parasite won.
Always a good sign. Always a good sign.
And HBO won. And next year, at some point, or the year after, it's slated to be a 6-part miniseries at the very least.
We bought this film. We bought the rights here so that we can keep it the same. That's like, no, says no one ever. Like this, they're gonna absolutely shit all over it.
It's gonna be the worst. I think they're gonna miss the message or the themes overall of the film. But,
I'm not holding out any hope for HBO Max and their their film series ability.
I would rather us review Justice League Snyder Cut.
I'd be down for that and to see if it changes your opinion on it. But we are pretty close to time. I don't know what we're going to talk about next. Always a pleasure talking to you, Aaron. We'll probably do this again this weekend at some point if we don't die from heat exhaustion.
I got to review. Wait, we got to rate this thing 1 to 100. We always do that. And that's why I don't rate things over 90 yet. I'm going to say.
Hit it. Hit me with it.
I think I'm at a 95 with this one. About
Holy
95.
Shit.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. You're right. I think the themes. I think for most movie-going audiences, the movie probably isn't like the most amazing thing you've ever seen. But for the ride it takes you on, if you go into this movie blind and you're not expecting what you're about to get in for, you're gonna love it. I believe it.
It was a good film, and I don't want fucking plebs enjoying it to take away my hipster enjoyment of it as well. So I think I am going to give it a 91. I think it's a decent film. It's more than a fucking decent film. It is solid. I don't know what that means. Maybe you guys keep track of our rating system. This is only the second one or the third one that we've rated because we've been talking about directors and actors recently.
Yeah, we didn't rate all the directors when we did their movies.
No.
Or all the movies.
We save that for film episodes.
Here's one thing I will update though. That'll make you happy.
Okay.
Upon rethinking about it, I think Demolition Man is an 80, and I think Boondock Saints is a 90.
I think that's fair. You're also frozen on screen, by the way. But
You are frozen on mine. I'm really curious how this is going.
All your audio's coming in clear, but all good. There you go. You're back.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
Don't blame this on me, Aaron. I got my internet connection is solid. Can you say the same?
But I'm using this Ethernet cable you bought me. So, yeah.
Lauren, get off of Netflix. We're doing important shit here. All right.
Oh, that's the reason.
Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Cello.
My concern with that, though, is, I mean, there's traps all over this place. How would something get in from the outside and not know the path through and not get caught in one of those traps that I triggered earlier?
A flying carpet.
Yes. What? Winley, you come up with
a long day.
Such ideas sometimes.
We're reaching the end. I can feel it.
I think we're hitting about the end of our use tonight.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
This is a whole new world. I can't.
I hate you so much.
Why won't you stop it?
Oh,
And
as
we
much as
mentioned
you
that
do with
Disney
us being
acquired
plain.
Quest and Chaos as well.